Last summer, the Washington Post did an investigation and found that over 1,800 people had assaulted young girls between the ages of 13 and 15, some boys too, but mostly girls, between those tender and formative years. And that averages out in that 884 weeks of those 17 years between 2005 and 2017. That averages out to 2.03, conservative estimate now, 2.03 sexual assaults per week, every week, 884 weeks over a 17-year period. And who were these 1,800 people? They were police officers. Now we hear all these scandals with the Epstein files coming out, which of course isn't surprising. Remember, we had the Sandusky files, and we've had so many other scandals over the years involving sex and powerful people and moneyed interests and money exchanging hands in exchange for silence, and young girls exploited, and some, of course, young women manipulated and groomed as well. Meanwhile, as I said, we have ICE agents urinating on public school grounds. We have people going to prison for talking to adults on an adult site, looking for hookups or dates, only to have the tables turned on them and be told that they are in fact underage. And those people talking to the so-called underage people who didn't disengage immediately, well, they get jail, prison time, sheer ruination of their lives. They get put on sex offender registries for life, some of them. They get humiliated, they get bullied, they get attacked, their family gets horrified, and their children attacked at school. And somehow we have contractors with the U.S. government on the border who were actually discovering that they were bringing children to so-called foster parents, children that the Trump administration had separated from their families with their ill-fated, idiotic, closed border policy the first time around in 2017-18, and leading those same children to the foster parents who were not foster parents. They were, in fact, child traffickers. You have all this stuff going on. Meanwhile, you have people going to prison for doing nothing, compared to people who actually had sex with children, who managed to avail themselves of some kind of deal to get away with it. It's extraordinary what's going on out here. It's unbelievable. We really need to look at our so-called sexual exploitation policies and really put them in perspective. We have law enforcement joining with vigilantes in places like Tennessee, and vigilantes who may be joining the ranks of federal ICE agents because we wouldn't know they're masked. All of these things make absolutely no sense. And now we have the Epstein files, which everybody wanted to see, and now the people who are in charge of them, who promised to show them, not showing them. I wonder why. Well, it's pretty obvious to see what's going on. There are powerful and influential people who don't want their dirty laundry aired in public, and yet they don't mind doing it to the least of their brethren, to the less powerful, the less well-connected, the people who can't fight back. So, trolls, if you want to fight against those who are out there supposedly causing trouble, I urge you to do that. But spend your capital on people who are misusing their power and their prestige, their badges, their political offices to really harm children. And really look at what they're doing, because that really is grooming, as opposed to somebody on an online dating site who wasn't looking for a child to begin with.